Papa and Nicole and Va Va Voom have been highly successful advertising slogans over the past 30 years for Renault. Now ex-Formula One world champion and current Lotus driver Kimi Raikkonen is the latest Renault advert star in their new Megane campaign. It underlines Renault's ambition to make more people aware of their racing pedigree. I bet you didn't know that Renault are the power behind 4 Formula One teams. No other car firm can boast that, not even Ferrari or Mercedes. Renault are incredibly the power behind 1/3 of the grid, including world champs Red Bull, Lotus, Caterham and Williams. Does that change your mind about just how good Renault engines are? The good news is their F1 prowess just got affordable, from Formula One to one hell of a hot hatch. The Clio has been Renault's heartbeat for 22 years, selling over 12 million. But this Renault-built Clio is the car that really gets your heart pumping. And I've just had a first drive here in Granada, Spain. And even better news is that not only the standard Clio back with a bang, but its wild brother is also back with extra wham bam thank you ma'am. Renault may have been struggling for sales recently, but they have an outstanding pedigree for hot hatches, selling over 90,000 Clio Sports in 38 countries. This new Renault Sport Clio 200 is a big departure from the current 3-door 2-litre engine model, as it is only available with a 5-door body, 1.6-litre turbocharged engine and EDC 6-speed dual clutch gearbox. It's powered by a 197 brake horsepower 1.6-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and while the power is the same as the outgoing 2-litre, torque is up, but crucially it's lighter to make it more agile and give it extra performance. Economy also jumps by over 10 mpg to 44 mpg, while CO2 emissions falls 46 grams. The new Clio 200 is definitely a pocket rocket thanks to a launch control facility. It will hit 62 mph in 6.7 seconds, all the way to a top speed of 143 mph, helped by the fact the new 6-speed dual clutch gearbox has that launch control function built in, and the new Clio weighs 36 kilograms less than the outgoing car. The old Clio was one of the best hot hatches to drive, and this one is no different. The new car gets hydraulic compression, controls 2-stage dampers, a technology that is normally used on rally cars. The result is a more comfortable ride, yet also improves high-speed cornering grip. This Clio is a car for all moods. 2 chassis options for the new Renault Sport Clio will be available, Sport or Cup, with the latter giving 3mm lower suspension, 15% stiffer suspension, 18-inch alloys and quicker steering rack for an even more track-honed experience. All cars get the RS drive control, which includes normal, sports and race modes. These progressively increase the engine's response, give more manual gear shift control and speed up the gearbox shift times in race mode. The launch control function is available in sport and race modes. But the best bit is that it's quick with lots of grip. The power is deep and meaningful from the minute you stamp down your right foot, meaning you can really pull out of corners with purposeful pace. It also sounds the business with a proper crackle and burble that bursts into your ears via the cockpit via a sound pipe. You can even customise it to sound like other cars. The Sport chassis also handles with aplomb, as you might expect, but it now lacks a sharp edge on cornering. That again may upset the connoisseurs, but I personally preferred all the hardcore without the hard ride. Renault will hope that this Cup version will appease the track racers. I drove this for a few laps around the Guadix circuit and it felt the part. It's firmer than its twin brother and far more aggressive, but on this very smooth circuit it was hard to tell how it will cope with the UK's horrendous potholes. The Renault Sport Clio also includes enough techno gizmos to even overload Stephen Hawking. It boasts an R-Link system which can be upgraded to include the RS monitor. That's an onboard telemetry system that has a customisable display of engine parameters, performance data and GPS activated stopwatch for lap times. Other spec highlights include Bluetooth, Renault Sport seats and the RS sound pipe, which transmits the sound of the engine into the cabin. This can be customised to sound like different cars too, including old Alpine and Gordini Renault Classics and Nissan GTR. Disappointingly, I found no sound for a Lada. Not only does it perform, but it looks the dog's danglies too. When I got behind the wheel of the Desire concept 2 years ago, it was arguably the most beautiful car I'd ever driven. When Renault said at the time that the look of it would go into their next Clio, I laughed, yet remarkably, here it is. It's been shrink wrapped and sculpted into the shape of a runaround in size and practicality, but the overall essence has been transformed from supercar to super mini and now into a hot hatch. The Renault Sport versions add even more muscles to an already shapely body, like going from Jordan to Jodie Marsh. The interior matches the exterior for drama. Renault have added splashes of red for passion to punctuate the moody black interior. Red is liberally used with the seatbelts, instrument needles and visible stitching, the sport steering wheel's straight ahead position marker, the air vent surrounds and door panel beading. The gear lever knob too comes with red touches, which are echoed by the visible stitching of the gear lever gaiter. The new Renaultsport Clio is built in the firm's factory in Dieppe, France, and first UK deliveries will begin in June. The great news is that you don't need to earn the money of an F1 driver to afford it. It's priced at $18,995, which is £100 more expensive than the forthcoming Peugeot 208 GTI, but the less powerful Ford Fiesta ST is a whopping £2,000 cheaper. Renault are strutting their stuff like no other car firm on the highly competitive F1 stage. On the ultra tough hot hatch grid of motoring, the Clio is back in pole position.